Hey y'all, it's me, Niecielynn. I hope you're having a happy Friday. I'm trying to get the little remote thing turned off here. And it looks like we're rolling. Something's working this morning, hallelujah. I'm having internet problems, so I will finish filming and then upload it at the shop when I pick up the girls. Some of y'all may have noticed, I've been having internet problems. I only got to heart most of your comments. I'll answer them today here on the book. I have them written down, but for some reason, my internet is going nuts. So I will not be able to, I didn't get to answer y'all's comments, and I wasn't able to pick the random winners, the giveaway, the shares. Oh, don't use that word, G word, the shares for last week. So I'll post them in the video description. I'll also go back and tag y'all, but I'll post them in the video description when we're done. That way y'all can just flip over there and see them, because I don't know what's going on, but the internet is mad. It's been kind of mad all week, and then it's real mad last night and this morning, so I don't know what's going on. So here we are. This is October the 9th, FlossTube number 42. I have on my "Oh, another glorious morning makes me sick" shirt, which I am a huge Hocus Pocus fan, so yay. All right, we are going to jump right in and try to get through the questions and comments and things. There were a lot this week, and like I said, I'm so sorry. Thank y'all for hanging in there when I did not get to answer. So I don't know what's up, but James has been, he's home. James Williams is at home, and he's been working on the internet this morning, but he reset everything, but I don't know. It doesn't seem to be helping, so he's been home most all week too. All right, on that note, we're gonna jump right into anniversaries. So we have Joan, 44 years, Julie R. Stitches, 32, Kim, 38. Y'all happy anniversary so much. Jeannie, 19, Colette, 41. That's Linda, 44. I think Sherry had the most at 51. I do want to give little Rachel a shout out now, y'all. She has had a rough time. Her and her boyfriend have been together for 10 months, and then she got tonsillitis so bad she was hospitalized, and she got glandular fever, and then we went into lockdown. So it's hard to have a relationship when you're in lockdown, if you're not in lockdown with that person. She said he had like 3 gray hairs in his beard when this started. There's a lot more now, so happy 10 months, Rachel. This too shall pass. I can promise you. After all these years, what, 30, 33, 30, 34, I guess 34 in December. This too shall pass. Everything does. So our most this year's were 51 with Cherry, and Rachel had the 10-month long haul. But I also want to mention Mad DTT and her Dan have 40 years together, and a big shout out to my friend Dan. I don't have many guy fans, but I do have a few, and thank you, Dan, for hanging out and visiting with your wife and spending time with her while she listens to me ramble on. I appreciate it. That is very sweet. It's like when James Williams goes to the needlework store and sits in the car, I guess, or when he traipses through the antique mall for days with me and then tries to get me to buy something strange that I don't want. Oh well, we've had that issue this week, not with Antique Mall, but when you ask me a question and I give you the answer, if it's not the answer you like, that doesn't mean you just keep asking again. Just say, I don't care what you answered, I really didn't want to do what you wanted to anyway, I was just being nice, and we're doing that. Because that works, okay? Just be honest. But when you ask me, and then ask me, and then ask me, or like when you ask me, where do you want to go eat? And I tell you, and you say, is that really where you want to go? Yes. Yes, it is. That's why I said that. So, I'm a little salty this morning. Everybody get ready. Raquel had asked why we have so many brick houses in Texas. When she came to Texas and she saw the front of the house in the in my Charlie Chaplin porch video, it is brick and stone. I have always, there's 3 reasons I've heard my whole life. One is there is a clay belt that runs kind of down through the center, the east center of America down and all the way down through Texas. We're sitting right on top of it. There's brickyards, especially used to be a million more all around us. There's brickyards, big old brickyard over to Ferris. They have a golf course on top of the trash thing over there now, but it's called the brickyard. There used to be brickyards everywhere. So it was local. It was a local material. So people like to use it because, you know, you need to trade with your brother-in-law and all that. So there's that reason. Also, we have the tornadoes. And I've always been told that the brick holds up better in tornadoes. It's not as easily stripped off as siding and things. So then I also know for a fact, because I have had to do this, that the sun here, any type of wood or siding that's painted, it eats it up. Within 2 years, you're needing to repaint it because it's baked it so much that it's cracked it and coming in two. So the least wood trim you have on your house, anything that's painted, the least you're gonna have to strip and repaint, which is a pain, because here we you know, I've told y'all before, we don't have seasons here like y'all. It is blistering, hotter than hell on Sunday here, or it is raining and wet, drizzly, cold. That's all there is. There's not really a spring and all the beautiful fall. There are a few leaves turning in the back, but not many, and they'll all just fall off the tree and die like overnight. They'll be gone. That's it. We went to, we took a driving tour up to Arkansas to see the leaves turn. Our timing was a little off, but we got to see a lot more than we see here. We just don't have it that much. It happens really fast. We go from one blistering hot to cold, wet, dreary, and that's all there is. So the paint, anything painted here is really hard because you have to strip it and repaint it so much. And it's just, it's not cost effective. So the brick and the stone are local here. They stand up to our elements so much better. So that's what I've always been told, Raquel, is that those are the reasons that we have all stone and brick houses here. If you go out east, where my grandparents are from, out that way, you see a lot of stone houses, and they're beautiful. They're all stone, and I love them. But here we just usually use stone trim. It's just easier. The bricks are easier to lay, and it's cheaper, so to do it that way. I hope that helps. I love the beautiful colored houses when we go to Mexico and the Caribbean, and we see all the beautiful colored houses because I am a color freak. I love it. And so it does make me sad, but I mean, I get it. Jackie wants to be a gentleman farmer. She said, you know, farmhouse was one of the words, and she said she just want to be a gentleman farmer. She didn't want to have to be a gentlewoman farmer and not have to do all the hard work. Oh, and now I'm gonna start sneezing out. That you have to do if you're a real farmer. And she said she just mainly wants to have the animals. Well, that's our baby. I love me some animals too, but as I've got older, I don't. When the kids were little, we had all kinds of dogs, cats, and everything, ferrets and dragons and fish. We had, one time I think we had 10 fish tanks up. So, I mean, we've had the gamut. When I was a kid, I kept sheep and all kinds of things. You know, my grandparents always had farm animals and stuff. So Micah keeps chickens. But Baby and Keely, you know, they live out the country, and he has cows and everything. Well, on Baby's birthday in April, one of the neighbors called. A neighbor man has a sheep herd and asked Keely if he had any little kids. And he said, no, sir, I don't. It's just my wife and I. And he said, oh man, I was hoping I could find somebody to take this baby lamb. The mama's rejected it, and I don't have time to bottle feed it. So I was hoping I could find somebody to take it because, you know, it's gonna die. Well, it was Baby's birthday, and she loves nothing better than an animal. And so he said, well, sir, I don't have any kids, but nothing make me happier than my wife. So he went and got Gilly, and brought Gilly home and kept Gilly in a little playpen and fed Gilly out. And now Gilly got to be too big to stay in because it would jump up on things and potty on things. And Gilly you couldn't keep it in the playpen when it got a certain size. Well, then when they tried to put it outside, because it'd only been with humans, which, you know, Keely said, but it didn't matter. She wanted to keep that baby in the house and keep it close. So when she was in the house, it was in her lap all the time. Well, then when they tried to put it in a pen outside by itself, it lost its mind. It ran into the fence, cut its little nose, just went berserk. So they went and found, it's some kind of a Pyrenees, which my sister and them will say it's a Pyrenees, whatever. They went and got a mix, one of those to put out there with it. So, you know, like you have one, you keep it with a herd. It's not really, they're not made to be pet dogs. They can be, they're very good. But they put Dolly, the puppy, out with Gilly, the lamb. And Dolly and Gilly are tight. And they stay together all the time. And we've laughed at Aria because she loved to pick up Gilly. And so then there was several months went that we didn't go to Gilly's house. Everybody came here. We went out there and she said, and I just can't wait to pick Gilly up and hold Gilly. And I said, baby, Gilly's too big. Gilly weighs way more than you do right now. You can't pick up Gilly. And she said, Sugar, I can. I love Gilly. Well, when we got there, she seen she could not pick Gilly up. It didn't keep her from trying to pet it to death, but yeah, so you and Bebe and all the rest of us love animals. Yeah, if you can find somebody to do the heavy lifting, like Keely and you, that's a pretty sweet gig. They did lose a rooster this week because when we went last time, we pulled up, I told him, I said, hey, there's a big old hawk, big old red-tailed hawk sitting in the tree in the front of the house. And it was watching, I thought the cats, but come to find out it was watching the rooster, I guess. Or it was watching the cats and the rooster and decided the rooster was easier pickings. So the rooster got. My sister has lost several ducks this week. There's a mountain lion over there. It's been spotted, and it's not usually a hawk. You know, if it's a coyote, you'll find feathers and things all snatched up. And even a hawk, usually you'll find some feathers fall out when it snatches it. But a mountain lion's so fast, it'll just snatch it and go. You won't even find any feathers, and that's what she's lost several of the ducks because there's also alligator snapping turtle in the pond, so they don't want to get in. So it ain't easy being a gentlewoman farmer, Jackie. So you got to get you some good hired help and some good fences. Christine said, what about a Christmas tour? I'm sure, yeah, that's not, because I don't decorate as much as I used to, but I do. I miss it and I do decorate. So yeah, that's easy peasy. And like I said, I'll try to do a better I recorded it and didn't realize how I was supposed to do it. I thought I understood and I didn't. So it'll be better. It'll be better than the front porch Charlie Chaplin style, although I found that very humorous. Cherry says she uses gorilla hooks to hang things and has never had a problem, and they only leave a tiny little hole, not very big hole. So I've got to look into getting me some gorilla hooks. Anne is looking for a pattern, and I'd never seen it till she sent asking for it. It's called Lobster Pot Buoys by Helga. It is so cute. I found it, there's a picture of it in the Needlework and Niecielynn Facebook group. Somebody said they found the picture on Pinterest too, but she posted on there, and so I'm telling on here that she's looking for that. I've never seen it anywhere. It's a beautiful pattern. It looks to be full coverage probably. So if any of y'all have seen it, know of it, holler out because Anne's looking for one. Oh, and Jackie, we were laughing about the picture I posted in my phallic umbrellas, which I knew I should have took that thing down. I was dying after I said it because I did not even notice. I was dying. But Jackie said what was in the pool. The pool what was floating on the top was the Polaris, like the hose that attaches it to the water, because you know the water pressure pushes them all around the pool to clean. He is called George Washington, and my family, my little nieces started calling him George Washington when they were little at their house and at my daddy's house, because they, you know, George Washington, that song you sing. Well, they came home and adapted it to the cleaner. George Washington, he cleans our pool each day. So they will forever, the Polarises will forever be known, the pool cleaners at our house, as George Washington. So sorry, George, father of the country, but at least you're still remembered, okay? You're cleaning the pool. You're a cabana boy now, so there you go. Now you're hot. Don't think about those pictures, George. Debbie and Peggy and several of y'all, we were talking about hanging things. And Debbie and Peggy said they use sewing needles, and Kathy and Kim have used straight pins, and Kathy's also used sewing needles. And they say they just push it in, and because it goes so far in the wall that it sticks in the sheetrock there, so it's stuck. So then when you pull it out, Kim says you just use a little piece of chalk and it'll fill in the hole. You just scrub it in the hole. So I thought that was genius. As a couple of y'all had said straight pins last time, and so there was more of y'all that said yes, that's what they use and have used them before. Jasmine says she has been slaving over 3-bit projects for 8 to 12 years. And when we talked last week about this being a hobby and y'all just set those free, y'all, that is the truth. That is the truth. Do not feel bad about this. Like I said, if you buy a pair of shoes and they're too tight, don't keep them things. Send them back, give them away, take them to the donation place. You know, we have those places that I know everybody does, but there's one in Waxahachie that specifically helps a women's shelter. And so, you know, if you have clothes or shoes like that, don't keep that. Same way with your projects. If it is weighing you down, there is too much in life to weigh you down. There should be no guilt in your needlework, okay? This is a hobby. This is for fun. This is my soapbox again. Boy, I'm on it this morning, huh? Cut out what you can. Turn it into a little pillow or a Pinkeep or whatever. You don't have to finish or give it away. There's probably somebody dying to find what you're not wanting to stitch, because we just all like different things, and that's what makes us all happy and be able to function together. So get rid of that thing. Do not let it do you that way. Now, if you think someday I really want to come back and finish this, that's great. Roll it up, put it in your little bag, and put it to the side. But if it makes you feel bad and feel guilty and you do not want to, don't keep it. Do not keep it. Life is too short for that kind of stuff, or at least in my mind. Judith, I did want to mention that I hope you're continuing to heal after being in the hospital. So take care, rest up, and get healed up. Let's see, I've got all these things going here. Alethea is stitching. When she stitches Anniversaries of the Heart, she wants to stitch it into a quilt. And I've got to go over and look because I love watching her, but I've missed this one somehow. Olivia at Pumpkin Hollow is going to turn hers into a quilt. And I think I may have seen her stitching on it, but I don't think it's finished yet, but I'm going to go double check. But yes, I have a lady I knew a long time ago took little Del Burdette. I even still have the pattern book. And they're little smalls, okay? They're very small, like maybe 1 inch to 2 inches across. Okay, they're little squares. And then she did, and this was back in the late 80s, mid to late 80s. She did a log cabin all around each little one. And it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Donna, I'll never forget it. It is the most beautiful thing ever. She was a friend of Nancy's, and that thing was so beautiful with those little cross-stitch pieces in the very center of the log cabin. It was beautiful, so that is going to be stunning. Mela and Darlie sent me about Susie Reno's newest video. I've got to go look at it, but Darlie sent me a picture. She has like shelves going across the wall so that you only have the holes for the shelves, and they're long, and then you can put your needlework on it or pictures or whatever, and it was beautiful. So y'all might go check that out. It is, the picture that Darlie sent me is gorgeous, and Mela referenced it too, so I've got to go watch the whole video. Robert Sweet Pea suggested that I show the pin stitch and different stitches on plastic canvas with yarn. I was like, that's genius. She went to, and I can't remember if it was Jeanette Ferris or Douglas that she said she went to, that that showed stitches on plastic canvas with a piece of yarn. So genius. So yes, I will grab some of that this week because that's the smartest thing ever. Mama Bird 4 is changing up her casting a spell, and I grabbed mine here. She's changing hers up for Christmas. So I talked about it before. You could easily, because there are so few colors, you know, you could do it in greens and reds, in a brown or a black or a gold. You just need a few colors, and then you could change this to say, because I changed mine to say Blessed Be. You could change yours to say whatever, and the only thing about this is the glass. And just change everything up. And I talked about doing mine. Of course, I haven't got it done yet. I do have the other box in there ready to paint that I got the trim on now. James cut it for me because I'm always a fret of things like that. So she's changing hers up like that, and I think that's going to be beautiful. Allison, prayers going up, friend. Her husband retired on Friday. Now, I've told y'all several times, I'm going to have to go to the mission field in China or something if they'll have me, because don't even know what sound he just made in there in the bedroom. But no. Prayers going up, Allison. Ava said, mentioned a cross-stitch cruise. I have heard of these before, and I've always not done a cruise because I'm so claustrophobic. I do not know that I could sleep in there. When we have traveled and been in a, like on mission work and been in a small room, I can't sleep. I did not sleep for a week in Colorado. I took handfuls of Benadryl. It's wonder I'm not dead. I'll probably have Alzheimer's next week. Probably got it today. But I cannot sleep. So that's my only, we've talked to, and some people we know love a cruise and some people we know hate a cruise. I just don't know that I could sleep on a cruise, but I would love a cross stitch, anything. To hang out and visit and stitch would be fabulous. So sounds like a dream. Judy said her last name is Ledbetter, but it's L-E-A-D, like lead, like the property lead better. The story is with us is that it used to be that way, and somewhere along the way, the A got dropped. I can't remember if those are the, I don't think those are the relatives. Those aren't the ones that came over on the prison ship, the women. But go me. Hey, we survivors. We're women that came over on a prison ship and made it. There you go. But I don't think that's that one. But I think the story is it's just a misspelling at some point in paperwork that the A got dropped. And it's been LED for ever since. But I always find that quite fascinating that a misspelling can change everything. Lori, I sent you my address in the email. I hope if it didn't go through because the crazy internet holler, and I think it'll notify me if it didn't go, and it didn't yet, but if not, holler back. Which also makes me think, one of y'all had asked me something about Summer Jubilee, that pattern that was shared with me, and I have loved it, have not got to stitch it yet, and one of y'all asked me about it, something about it. If it was you, ask me again. I have searched everything I can find, and I cannot find your question to answer it. So if you ask me something about Summer Jubilee, ask me again, because I don't know where your question went. For the life of me, I cannot find it, and I've been meaning to say that for months now. Thank you, brain, for working eventually. Okay, MK, she has 2 kids and no grandbabies. And of course, when these get to acting up, MK, you just need to come on and take these for a little bit, because whoo, they can get wound up, really wound up. They got a mean streak in them. So, but a lady that used to be my daddy and them secretary she was the secretary for Barney, the sheriff at the sheriff's department. And she would always joke, she had 1 child, and she said, he's never gonna give me no grandkids. I'll be in a wheelchair in the Renfro before he give me grandkids. And bless her heart, Theta got cancer and passed before she ever got to see her grandbaby girl, beautiful. But I know she sees her now. It just made me think of Theta, and I want to say her name. She was always beautiful, always put together, always just dead on. I mean, 100%, always. And sweet and polite and mannerly. And she does have a beautiful grandbaby, and I think she still sees her. Maybe not here. I feel like the poor grandbaby don't get to see Theta, and that's the hard part, I think, because I think Theta still sees her. But MK, come on over, girl. Sometimes it takes 10 people to try to wrangle these 2. Oh, Judy and Nancy were nice enough, because when I said Skagit, and I said I don't think that's right, but I can't remember how I'm supposed to. Skagit, like Skad, S-K-A-D, and then jet, like flying. So Skagit, I think is how I'm supposed to say it. So thank y'all for that. I do try to say things right. Patty is looking for Clara O'Hare and Henry O'Hare. 1, 2, 3 stitches out. It's by Lizzie Kate. So 1, 2, 3 stitch, has their patterns, but they're out and not printing again right now. So if your LNS has it, if you have it and are willing to part with it, holler, because Patty is desperately searching, and it is the cutest dang pattern. And Amira is looking for, it's an heirloom treasure kit, like some of the kits that we looked at, that Melissa sent a couple weeks ago. and I think it was Melissa, please forgive me, I've only had half a cup of coffee if it wasn't. Her grandma had given her a heirloom treasure kit of blue floral iris. So she's looking for that. She's only found it on eBay and places, but the shipping was very prohibitive. So she's trying to find somebody that has it, like an L&S or something, that she can combine with some other things and not just pay a truckload of shipping for one thing. So if you guys see that anywhere, holler, because she is looking for it. Sherry, James Williams is seeing the chiropractor now. He went yesterday and Tuesday, I think. Tuesday? Yes. Yesterday and Tuesday. He does seem to be getting some relief. He's been home saying getting no relief one day this week. So I need to go get my brain chiropracted. It's been too much. But the Patriotic house colors, I'll show them again in a minute. But right now, before I forget, I've got Classic Colorworks Caterpillar. And this is on my Patriotic house trio. This is what I use. Deep Blue Sea, Classic Colorworks. Deep Blue Sea. Cauldron by Classic Colorworks, Cauldron. Chopped Chives by Classic Colorworks, Chopped Chives. Forest Glade's nearly gone. Forest Glade by Gast. And I think I had to use it because this one back here. On the one tree, it's the only thing I had to use this on because the contrast wasn't enough. Blue Corn by Classic Colorworks. And Desert Mesquite by Classic Colorworks. I used it for a lot of things, but when I was stitching the design in the spirally tree, because the Desert Mesquite has such good contrast and modeling in it, when I stitched it with this, it kind of, in places, ran together, and you couldn't see right there where the modeling in it is very similar in little spots. So I did the Forest Glade on the one tree, and then of course just my DMC white there. So that's what I use, and I'll show it again real quick, but I was gonna try to say it real slow right there. Tracy, I'm sorry you've had a crappy week. I don't know what went on, and it doesn't really matter, but this is the end. This is Friday, Dunsky. So I'm hoping you have a great weekend and a great next week. I'm sending all the virtual hugs since that's all we get to send. And can somebody explain to me why the hug guy, why the little hug emojis like this? Have you ever hugged anybody like this? I have a care thing on one that's like this. This is like hug. I don't know why the little hug emoji is like this. It really freaks me out. And I just realized I'm completely off center. That's okay. The virtual Halloween party with Stitching with the Sisterlies and Teresa Kogut is going to be October 23rd. I don't have a time yet. Teresa knows how to get us all together somehow and is going to facilitate that. I am super excited. She's going to have some special, I think like a pattern or a giveaway. We're going to have some giveaways, and I'm trying to finish up another little chart. I don't know if y'all saw my Instagram post. It took me, for the 4,000 subscribers, I was going to share this pattern with y'all. And I stitched it 2 ways, but it took me all this time, literally a month, to figure out how to use the software, because I tried to do it on paper and couldn't figure out how to show it. So I dropped it. My pumpkin Pinkeep there, and then here it is on Ada with pearl cotton, and I use it for a little pin cushion when I'm in there sewing. But that's pearl cotton on Ada with it, and they're just 2 little Pinkeeps, but the pattern, the chart for it, is on my blog. There is, I think, a link in my Instagram now. I'll include a link in the description also. But this is a free pattern as a thanks to y'all for hanging out with me. I appreciate it so much. I'm trying to finish another one for the Halloween party. But technology and I struggle. We really struggle. So, Melissa is teaching her daughter to drive. And I got to tell y'all, I'm going to complain about some driving now. I don't like to drive. Never did like to drive. And when my parents told me that I was going to have to learn to drive, I said, no, I don't. I can get a ride anywhere I need to go. This overhead light is really beating me. I'm going to have to change the lighting in here next week. No, I don't like to drive. I don't want to drive. My daddy tried to teach me. Y'all, my daddy, remember if y'all told him, he was a sheriff forever. And so, you know, they had to do the police driving and everything. And my dad and my mom both used to, just for fun, race cars. Both my parents are drivers. No driver. So daddy would try to teach me and I'd go to bawling. And he told my mom, he said, we're going to have to put her in a driving school because I can't do this. So they enrolled me in a driving school where all the other kids knew how to drive. I mean, they didn't do it on purpose, but of course, this is Texas and all kids know how to drive, okay? Except me. And it's true. I can get a ride anywhere I need to go. Always have been able to. So, I don't like it. They signed me up. And the first time I had to get up there and drive, I get in there and I literally, when I drove with my daddy, he already had the car running and everything, right? And I would just get over there and go to bawling. So I get out, it's my turn to drive. They make me go last, of course, because I say I don't know what I'm doing. So all the kids, oh my God, and wanted to get out of the car. But I get in the front and I'm like, okay, what do I do? And he's like, start the car. And I said, that's what I'm asking you, what do I do? And all the other kids was really losing it. But it ain't my gig, okay? I took the classes down and night, and we get down to the test day. And the man here in town even failed his son, Jimmy. He was hard driving teacher, okay? Failed his own son. And so all the other kids go, and I said, well, I might go last. And he said, honey, you're not going today. There's no way you'll get a driver's license here ever. He said, there's a trooper what owes me a favor in another city I ain't gonna say. And we're gonna go up there and you're gonna get your driver's license. You know that red dress you have? Wear the red dress. I put the red dress on. We went. I didn't see a jogger. I didn't hit him or anything, but you know, I ran a stop sign and he parallel parked the car for me. I got my driver's license. I've been driving ever since. Knock on wood, no incidents. I don't like it though. It ain't my gig. So if you're having to teach your children to drive, my advice to you is find a farmer. Both the boys learn to drive working for Ray on the tractors and in the fields and in the semis, and they can all, happiest day of my life. We tease them and call it Ray Ray's driving school. And if you get lost, you know, you used to have like a TomTom or a Garmin or whatever. We would say, hey, can I get a Ray Ray? And a Ray Ray will be written on a napkin or something, but I guarantee you it is dead on. Ray Rays will get you right there every time. So find your farmer and let him teach that baby to drive. It'll be the happiest thing you ever did. And of course, he'll get some free field work out of it. So, and really, what can you kill out in the field? You're already cutting down the plants anyway. I'm just saying. Melissa, think about it. Miss Debbie, I am sending all my love down to New Orleans. She said hello from New Orleans, and I miss it. Mike and Justin made sure to stop and stay a couple of days on their way back from Gulf Shore just to try to spread a little love and a little cash around, because it is one of our favorite places in the world. And we got the other storm coming. So sending all the hugs and loves and prayers that way. We laughed at Aria Kyle because evidently she's like her mom and me. Love us some New Orleans. Love it, love it, love it. Or as my daddy says, New Orleans. They got there and Aria is just love it. She said, Mama, this place is magic. I love it here. And Mike said, I know, baby, I do too. And she said, when I used to live here a long time ago, I had shops. So, for what it's worth, Aria Kyle used to run shops, evidently somewhere around the quarter, because that's where she was. So, little Miss Thang is loving it. And of course, Kimmy said, should it smell bad? It smelled like the lake, but badder. So she's a little sensitive about the smell. She'll come around. None of my kids cannot love it. I can't accept that. Kathy had asked about my pillow pad. I got mine at Walmart, and y'all have found them all online in several places. The cover comes off and can be washed. It probably needs it very badly right now. But this thing I use all the time. You can stick your little scissors. That's how I do mine, and my glasses over there, and then just roll with it. So, but y'all have found them at Bed Bath & Beyond. I think was other place had tons of them, and Mayors. Was that the other place? Anyway, just a search pillow pad. And that's the brand that I have. Becca, I would love to see your family heritage piece that you're stitching for your daddy. If you Insta or whatever, holler, because I would love to see that. She is designing, stitching a piece, a family heritage piece for her daddy. And I would love to see that thing, Becca. So if you do any other kind of social media or email, whatever, I would love to see that thing. Okay, y'all, I think we're finally through my rambling, and now here we go. With, oh, and I got a mess everywhere. Whips this week. First whip is gonna be Midnight Ride by Blackbird Designs. It got a little bit of love on the border, not a lot. Y'all see what I spent most of the time on this week, but here it is. I am loving this little thing. I put the little extra hat band and the bow on there. It'll be quick to finish it up, and then I'm going to do the big bird too. So that is, and it is on Prim Green by R&R Productions, and the thread is, I've got Fragrant Cloves and Onyx on here, gassed. Is what I'm using for it. So I have had fun with this, and it is a very stiff piece of linen, which we know that I adore, and that makes me super happy. So that is one whip. I have, let's see, Patriotic House got a tiny bit of love, but it is so close to a finish that I'm kind of just filling in the flag when I'm on the phone or something with Nell and Janelle and Tracy. I kind of have been just kind of stitching on it, but when I'm talking so much, I have a hard time stitching because I look at people and stuff. So it got just a little bit more love, not much. In the red, it got some starts on it. Let's see here if I can get it right there. I am stinking loving this thing. It is so close to being finished, and I'm really kind of going to be sad. It's been so fun. Thank you, Ann and Nikki, for sending this pattern. I have enjoyed the heck out of it. I think that was my first Stitchy Kindness. It may have been. It was close. It was close if it wasn't. And I have enjoyed it, but you can see here is where I had to use the Forest Glade in this tree here because the light color was mixing in with the modeling on the other. So I had to switch it around some. But I have loved that piece, and I'm going to be sad to kind of see it go. I have worked on Fall by Lizzie Kate's nearly finished. So that this week was the last one of the, it's one of the giveaways too. And I've nearly got it done. I'll have a finish on it today. I changed up the colors. I wiggled my little eyelets around to make it, I don't know, it just looks super linear. So I just kind of wiggle them up and down a little bit. That makes me happy. I like things to be a little more movement in there. But I'm just using DMC on this one. And I am enjoying the heck out of it. I think that purple is, I hope it's not 3740, I lied. I don't have it right here. I'm trying to quit that line, but I ain't made it yet. Okay, now, my finish is my other car is a Broom, which is a Lizzie Kate and a big stack of this somewhere. And it was one of the giveaways this week. Here. My other car is a Broom by Lizzie Kate. I don't have the little buttons. I'm sure they do it 1, 2, 3 stitch. I may put some little bats. I was gonna look for some little bat buttons to put on mine. but I just used it on a super piece of scrap. And I'm not sure if I make it into a little pillow or a little ornament for the tree yet. But I moved things around because I wanted to use this piece of scrap linen. So I just wiggled the things around. It's supposed to be, this is how they did theirs. My other is on one line, and I just scooched mine down to squeeze my broom in. So I got it all stitched up, and I back stitched my initials and the year in there. So it'll be there for posterity. But that was my finish this week. So those are my whips and my finishes. Then we had all the FFOs. I have spent a lot of time this week FFOing. So, oh, and here is these are for these. So it goes over here. All right, so all the FFOs. Here we go. The first thing I FFO'd is my pumpkin Pinkeep. I just did a little Smyrna or something. No, it's, yeah, one of those long Smyrnas up in the corner. He's full of walnut shells. I just used a piece of the scrap linen to put over him on the back. I've got my initials and the year. Is that gonna focus? 1/1 from when I did it last year when I stitched it up, but I hadn't put my initials on. I didn't put my initials on until this year, I don't think. But, because I thought I might take it all the way around, but I decided just to kind of frame it up. It's just full of walnut shells, but the colors I used on it are mainly DMC 4130 and DMC 413. Is that 413? 413 are the two colors I used on here. And I love this DMC. It's not easy to find a lot of times anymore. I think you can order it, but like the Joann's and places that carry all the DMC don't carry this, or at least mine don't for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's really nice. And I love that it has a lot of variation in it. Moving things around here. I've spread stuff out so far I can't reach it. Lord have mercy. This one is an FFO. I stitched it a while back and I've still got threads going everywhere. I didn't finish it off completely. I wanted to show the back here because I struggled with the back without, and y'all helped me. And I remembered after y'all said that how I'd watched Vonda do it. But this is Halloween Hoopla, Halloween. And I painted my fabric and, oh Lord, my broom's all a mess here. Done got a messy broom. This is the painted even weave. And there she is on her little broom. I just like the sky looks kind of mottled and there's a lot of movement in it. And then you can see my fabric didn't tear even and I didn't care. But you can see you go around and then go back and forth across like in a star pattern. And after one of y'all said that, I remembered watching Vonda do that. So it is not perfect, but it suits and it will go over there on the Halloween tree. And I just love her. She looks like she's darting off. And then I had this little black fabric has stars and like shooting stars on it. So I thought that was kind of fitting. So I loved her. I love stitching her. This is the cutest pattern. It is just adorable. So we have this has been FFO week. And I've worked in the yard a lot and on the porch and all that. So we've had all the FFOs. Treat Time here by Lizzie Kate got FFO'd. I can't decide if I'm going to use it as a standalone or on the ornament tree. I don't know. So he's still necky on the back because I haven't decided what to do with him. You can see here, the reason there's a piece of ribbon running is not just decorative. I was really close to the edge. Y'all know I'm crazy and I'd be trying to use all kind of scraps and stuff. I was for a long time, that's all I know to say. But that covers up the fact that the border, the edge of that serged edge is right there. And it just covers it up. And I didn't mean to be that close. I wasn't paying attention when I started. I could have scooched over this way some more, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But you can do a little comparison. Here is the older one that I stitched a couple of years back. So here it is with different colors on a different piece of like the bright Ada. So there is 2 different looks to the same pattern right there. So there's a little comparison to just what your background fabric and changing up some threads can totally change the way something looks. That's right there in that little bin. Oh, you know what? I have them. Let me see. Let me grab this before I fall out of the chair and kill myself. You'll be dying laughing. Here is my other car is a Broom done on orange. And I did just some change this is Broom, I think is how it's supposed to be more. I did this in 2016, 2015. So there's just two looks at how different things can look because I decided to stitch these again. See, I didn't know really how to do them. So they're like super squishy. They're not hard. And fall that I have started is on the other side of here. And this one is just really, man, I just went around the edges. If you don't sew, you can finish things off like that. And here's fall. So these are some historic finishes like from 2015 on Ada. And how things look completely different when you just kind of even just change the fabric. It's like crazy how much a difference that can make. This is Pumpkins and it is by, my brain's saying Bent Creek, but I don't know if that's right. I don't know why my brain would want to betray me right now. Because that's just how it do, and I can't find it. So I think it's Bent Creek or Trilogy, but I've already given the chart's already been shared, so I'll have to go back and find it. But that's just on a scrap piece of linen. I just did some funny little Frankensteins on the back to cover where I had my opening. And then I didn't have that button, so I just fudged it with stitches. And the years and one of the little pumpkins there, and my initials are over here in that very pale orange with just one thread. So it just barely shows, but he is walnut shells on the bottom. So he's nice and flat and heavy, and he's super fun. So that was my another FFO. Oh, this guy here is, I've had him finished for a while, and you see I had to piece sticky board together, which also makes me crazy. I had to do that on several pieces. Y'all, I'm missing a piece. Y'all are gonna have to hold a minute. Oh, Lordy. I'll show you this one, then I'll go get it. This one is, good grief, Frosted Pumpkin Sleepy Hollow. And I finished him up a long time back. He was one of my carryovers from last year, and he's just been sitting there waiting to be finished. I had the little polka dotty stuff, fabric, but I think he needs, y'all know I don't do a lot of trim. I like for the stitching just to show out, but I think he needs a little bit of orange around him like this. So y'all let me know what you think, but I think he needs some orange trim around his little self to finish him off. But y'all know I love Frosted Pumpkin and I love Sleepy Hollow. And so this was a win-win for me. And it was a fast little stitch. It's either 16 or 18 count Ada. It is not completely flat right here because that's where I had to piece it together. I'm not gonna worry about it. This is, here again, this is for my enjoyment. And I guarantee you, if the queen ever shows up, she is not gonna be rude enough to say, "Excuse me, madam, do you understand you have a bulge in your needlework?" It's never gonna be said, so, by anyone ever. And if they do, they're so rude, you need to tell them to get the heck out anyway. So, if you can live with it and enjoy it. Ain't nobody coming over here and judging your stuff unless you send it to the fair. And if you do, that's on you. Okay, my other big finish. Hold on. Oh, please. Oh, I'll turn you. You can be looking at this. The girls, I let them get in the Halloween, and they, except for my coffee cup, they set that up to scare Mimi the other day. They got it all out, and they said, "We're going to scare Mimi." Here's Johnny. Okay, I've got fuzz or something on here. Yeah. Lord mercy. I did not have the exact color blue I wanted. I decided just to let it go. But this is Welcome Autumn by The Drawn Thread. It has all the fabulous specialty stitches that I love in it. I had this fabric. I wish it was more blue, but it was just, you know what, it's fine. I didn't have anything that was the right color blue or anything I particularly liked, so this works perfect for me. I did have to change my acorns because when I did the satin stitch in this color is what it called for. It didn't show up good on my fabric. But this was such a fun piece to stitch. And there's another piece of thread or something on there, right there. Yank. But I love, love, love the specialty stitches in it. This is the kit from thedrawnthread.com. It comes with the fabric and the silks. Shelly checked, they don't sell it to the LNSs, so you have to get it straight from them to get these kits. But there was plenty of thread there, and I enjoyed the heck out of this. It is such a fun, fun stitch. I'll put it on the side of my little toolbox over there. I haven't got it stuck on yet, but I had it under a bunch of books and they're smashing it flat, and that's why I forgot it. It was so long, I had to set it over in another place. So there is that. That was one of ours this week. And I did use this. Part of what you're seeing are some little hot glue threads. This is this super stiff linen, and you're trying to finish it off on such a long, long board. I put my alines on, and then I tack down to help hold it while it's drying with alines, because this is super stiff linen. And so it helps hold it while the alines dries if you just do a couple of tacks of the like hot glue. And I used the little girl's hot glue so I wouldn't burn my fingers off. But Welcome Autumn by The Drawn Thread. I love it. Y'all know I love their pieces, and that one is fabulous. And the last FFO this week, and a finish, it was a finish and a FFO, is, and I already gave that pattern away, so I don't have it to show, sorry y'all. Halloween Quaker by From the Heart Needleart by Wendy. I was so excited when I saw this. I thought it was so cute. I decided not to make him have the Halloween face, the jack-o'-lantern face. I just didn't, I don't know. I wanted to leave it all through fall, and I added some purple in mine. This one is just a couple of colors of thread, I think 4. Let's see what we got here. Here it is. Colonial Copper, Mossy, Brown Sugar, Blackbird, and I added in the gassed red plum because I needed it. I wanted some purple in mine, and so and that's all the called for colors except for the gassed red plum that I added in, just to give it a little bit of contrast. And then I satin stitched him a nose and a mouth over the crosses, and then gave him those little fun button eyes. He just doesn't look as Halloween-y to me. I don't know, I may be wrong, but I just feel like he just looks like a pumpkin man out in the patch, and I loved this pattern. I felt like she just knocked it out of the park with this. Wendy, you did fabulous. Wendy Pete Ross, if y'all don't follow her on Insta, she's the designer of From the Heart Needleart by Wendy, and I just love her stuff. But he's just such a little funny, fun guy. And love the Blackbird up there. And then I changed out and did my DLW in the purple. And then my 2020, I just did over 1 down here. So I just added in just the tads of purple. Other than that, it's just how she charted it. It's on Toast by Me Stitch Me. That is the most beautiful fabric. It stitches up nice, it's soft. I prefer mine a little stiffer fabric, but it's beautiful and soft. So most people probably prefer it like a million times. But I think that's the last, maybe the last FFO this week. I grabbed a couple of historic finishes. We talked about the Casting a Spell. This is Which Better Have by Candy by Frosted Pumpkin. I stitched it up last year. I stinking love it. She's so dang cute. How can you beat that? That is the cutest thing ever. These are also Frosted Pumpkin. Everything from them you can get in a PDF download. So for y'all that shipping is cost prohibitive, Frosted Pumpkin does offer everything, as far as I know, in a PDF. This is, I believe, a pickle barrel design from last year's maybe just Cross Stitch magazine. I changed up the sign a little bit, but other than that, I think it's pretty much as charted. It's Witchy Boutique. And that's about it. So cute. The scrap of this is what I stitched Treat Time on, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. This may be Shale. The name of it may be Shale, S-H-A-L-E, if I'm remembering right. But that was a fun little stitch. Is that everything? Like I said, I cannot get it to do the random pickers yet. I'll have to do it when I get to the shop at Micah's. I'll make it do the picks, and then I will post the video at the same time because the internet here is not being my friend. But the picks for last week were, and I had them all right here. Okay. My other card is a broom. And fall. And Farmhouse. Is that right? Fright Night? I'll double check myself, but I think Fright Night too, from last week. So these are last week's that I will do, and I'll put it in the description box, and I'll message y'all when I get to the shop to pick up the girls, and we will upload the video from there. I don't know why I keep going out of the camera range. I guess I keep scooting around. This week, the share will be the Halloween Quaker that I've just finished this one. It's a nice size, and I love it. Love, love, love it. So this guy will be, the share this week will be Halloween Quaker, which is a new release this Halloween for Wendy. So that will be the share this week. I think that may be everything. I hope y'all didn't get too scared by the girls' spooky things. They had so much fun. I just let them go dig in the Halloween bins, and they set it all up. There's little, I'll try to flash around here so y'all can see. They when we were gonna go get my mama, they said, we're gonna scare Mimi. We're gonna set everything up to scare Mimi. So they had all this little stuff here. This is probably gonna fall out if I'm not careful. All this, and I did move the little witch dolls. Other than that, that's exactly how they had it laid out. I needed the space that they had the little witch dolls sitting in. So they have piled little pumpkins on top of pumpkins, and they had so much fun. And then, I don't know if I can tilt this way. No. Right there. Nope, that's not working. Okay, there we go. I hope y'all didn't get sick then. They had lined up their little pumpkins by here and the little Halloween nutcracker, and they moved those little pumpkins and those pillows and things around all over the place all the time. So, but I think that's probably all we have this week. The sun is up. It's 9 now, so I got to go get my little pumpkins at the shop and get this uploaded. So y'all have a great week and enjoy your stitching. Bye.